चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome all to our Sunday satsang. So today we are continuing the last part of 6th chapter. So 6th chapter has been about dhyana yoga, about the process of dhyana to control the mind. And Krishna discussed the process of dhyana. And then Arjuna told him, saying that Krishna, it looks like impossible to control the mind by the process that you are saying. And the process that Krishna gave was dhyana yoga, which is ashta anga. There are 8 angas: asana, pranayama, dhyana, so on. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Like this, there are 8 angas. And Arjuna told Krishna, saying, Krishna, doesn't look like it's possible for me. And Arjuna was not an ordinary person. Arjuna was a great warrior. And I was saying this, that, warriors, they're on the battlefield, they have to be very sharp, their mind has to be completely under control. They can't be getting distracted here and there. They'll just lose their life, right, if they get distracted. No scope to get distracted. So Arjuna was such a amazing fighter, and then he's saying that Krishna, no, process that you are given seems like not possible for me in Kali Yuga. And then Krishna answers, saying that it's possible. It's possible to control the mind by a suitable practice. It's called sadhana. By suitable sadhana, and he says, along with that, you need to have a little vairagya. When people hear this word vairagya, they run away. What is vairagya? So we discussed this before. Generally, traditional meaning of vairagya is to give up. Vairagya means giving up. But actually, our acharyas give a very nice understanding of vairagya. The vairagya that we need to practice is not about giving up things. It's about not being attached to the things that we have. This is called yukta vairagya. So there are 2 kinds of vairagya. One is yukta vairagya, the other is falgu vairagya. Falgu vairagya means this kind of incomplete renunciation. Incomplete means no clear understanding. No clear understanding. The reason that yoga talks about parityaga, renunciation, is because we are naturally very materially attached. That's why yoga says that, see, the only way is you give up the object, then you will lose the attachment to that object. But in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult. Nobody wants to give up the object at all, right? So how will the attachment go? So our acharyas say that we should practice what is called as yukta vairagya. Yukta vairagya means we have whatever we have. We are not going to give up anything, but we are going to use everything in Krishna's service. That's called yukta vairagya. Okay, so in our, for us, practical relevance in Kali Yuga, we are not going to give up anything. We are just going to make sure that we use everything in Krishna's service. That is Vairagya. But still, Krishna said that along with that you need to have a proper sadhana. So sadhana can be, we can have multiple processes for sadhana, and Arjuna has already rejected Ashtanga Yoga. And then towards the end of this chapter, now Krishna is slowly telling about what is that yoga which he prefers, which he thinks is the best. He concludes this 6th chapter with that verse, beautiful verse which actually says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgathe nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktato mamata. Bhajate means what? Bhajan. Bhajan means bhakti. So, amongst all those other forms of yoga, Krishna is saying that one who does bhajan of me, bhajate eva mam. So, Krishna is saying one who does bhajan of me, he is the greatest of all yogis. So, now before concluding, in these few verses, Krishna is talking about what is the destination of the yogi. Yogi means it could be anybody. It could be bhakti yogi, it could be dhyana yogi, it could be karma yogi, it could be jnana yogi, anybody. What is their destination? Now, in general, somebody who does gnana yoga, his destination is merging into Brahman, becoming one with Brahman, which we don't understand. As in, what is the use of merging with Brahman? Forget it. Okay. So jnana yoga is not, is incomplete. It's an incomplete process. Then also Ashtanga yoga also. Ashtanga yoga, the yogi can go wherever he wants at the time of death. They will have so much control over their senses that at the time of dying, while most people at the time of death, they suffer because of bodily pains and all that. But yogi, he is very, he's so much controlled over his body and mind and emotions and all that. He will just be very totally alert, and when the time comes for him to give up his body, he decides, okay, I want to go to this planet, and he can transfer himself just like that. So much powerful, right? And then, but then most of these Ashtanga yogis also, they want siddhis, Ashtasiddhis. And some of them again want to merge into Brahman. So even this Ashtanga yoga process, the yogi goes to Brahman. So but in Bhakti yoga, process of Bhakti yoga, where does one go by doing Bhakti yoga? Service of the Lord. Okay. So now there is a destination also. There is a possible destination. There are two destinations for us, right? At least two. What are the two destinations? One Goloka Vrindavan, okay, then second destination Ayodhya. Yeah, so Ayodhya, Vaikuntha. So we can go any of these places, right? So we can go to Vaikuntha, we can go to Ayodhya, or we can go to Krishna Loka, Goloka. Now, for a bhakti yogi, one who is doing bhakti, yoga means connection with the Lord. So there are different processes to connect with the Lord, and one process is bhakti yoga. And in bhakti yoga, a person can go to Vaikuntha or Ayodhya or to Krishna Loka, Goloka. Who goes to Vaikuntha? By the way, so irrespective of whether we want to go to Vaikuntha or Ayodhya or Krishna Loka, the process is one in Kali Yuga. There are no two processes. There's only one process for achieving that perfection. Now people in India, see, of course, if you go to, before Srila Prabhupada went to the West, if you'd gone to any country outside India and said, what is moksha? People, what will they understand? I don't know, it's some Indian stuff, right? Now everybody knows what is moksha. But in India, if you come and ask, people have 150,000 different, they'll say, this is my goal, that is my goal, somebody else says something else. Yeah, isn't it? Everybody has some different destination. Everybody has some different process. Somebody, one goes to one temple, they say, no, I follow this. Somebody goes to another temple, then I say, I follow this. Okay, that's fine. But finally, where do you have to go? And you have to know whether the process that you are following is going to take you there or not. Isn't it? You go to local BBMP office and say, give me America stamping. I want to go to America. Will you get it? You went to the wrong place, right? So you go to you take up some process and you say, I want to go to Goloka. It won't work. So first of all, you need to know what the process is. That's what Krishna is talking in Bhagavad Gita, right? That is why first only is rejected all this. Don't go to this demigod, that demigod. They are not going to give you perfection. They are not going to bring. See, if you go and do worship of various gods, they are not going to bring us to Krishna. They can't take us to Krishna. They themselves are not gone, no? They are still in the material world. So they can't take us to Krishna. So then we discuss this also. Then what is the use of all this worshipping this god, that god and all that? Because Vedic Shastra says, eventually after worshipping various gods, one comes to the worship of Vishnu or Krishna. That is the progression. It's like first standard, second standard, third standard. Finally you come to, 10th standard or whatever, which is worshipping Krishna or Vishnu. That is the only reason why worship of so many other gods are given. But the goal of all these different kinds of worship is finally to come to Krishna, come to Vishnu. So who goes to Vaikuntha? So the process is simple. So first we'll start with the process. What is the process to be followed? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So the chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the process, central process. But yes, around that what else is there? Maheshwar Prabhu? ABCD. So what is A? Association of devotees, right? Those devotees who are also practicing bhakti, we should be in their association. Why should we be in their association? Because it's like so many things we don't know, we might have questions, we will learn from them and we'll make progress, right? Second, B for books. What books should we read? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. Okay. Then C, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And D for Prasadam. So if you do these four things, this is the path to wherever you want to go, whatever your destination is. This is the process. There is no other process. Any other process has to finally bring you to this process, in Kali Yuga specifically. So now, when you practice this process, where all can you go? So one destination Krishna is saying here, we will come to this later. We'll come to this later, a little later. So we can go to Vaikuntha. We can go to Vaikuntha. Who is worshipped in Vaikuntha? Lakshmi and Narayana. Normally, technically, because we are all hearing this, a lot of philosophical stuff, right? Technically, the person in Vaikuntha is called Narayana. The person who takes care of this material world, creation, maintenance, all that is Vishnu. So when we say who is there in Vaikuntha, we should generally not say Vishnu. It's not wrong, but technically it's Narayana. Technically it's Narayana. When we talk about maintenance of this world, we talk about Vishnu. So Narayana. So Vaikuntha, in Vaikuntha there is Lakshmi and Narayana. Narayana is not alone, right? Who's there with Narayana? Lakshmi Devi is there. What is Lakshmi Devi doing when she is with Narayana? Serving. You see, Vishnu is, Narayana is lying down, and then Lakshmi is massaging his legs. So today I had one more class I was discussing, saying that in India, people want to worship Lakshmi without Narayana. Isn't it? When people do Lakshmi Puja at home, what do? They worship Lakshmi without Narayana. And does Lakshmi like to be without Narayana? Lakshmi doesn't like to be without Narayana. So what does she do? She goes. And then people are running. You're running behind money. Money is going. Why money is going? Because you're worshipping Lakshmi without Narayana. And we want Lakshmi. We want Lakshmi for what? What do we want to use money for? What do we use money for? Enjoyment. To enjoy, to buy things, this, that and all that. So, just for understanding of this concept, Lakshmi is Narayana's wife. And we should use Narayana's wife for what? Narayana's wife should be engaged in Narayana's service. Right? So which means that the Lakshmi that you get should be used in whose service? Narayana's service. Now what we are doing? We are taking Narayana's wife and using it for our purpose. So Lakshmi doesn't like this. So people have a lot of money tension, money worries. And that's because they are not using Lakshmi properly. If Lakshmi is used in Narayana's service, Lakshmi doesn't go anywhere. She will put permanent address in your house. She will not go anywhere. So anyway, so Lakshmi Narayana. Now in Vaikuntha, worship of Lakshmi Narayana. How does this worship happen? Like we go to Tirupati, right? When you go to Tirupati, what do? How close can you get to the Lord? Not very close, right? It depends also which darshana you are taking, etc. Mostly it will be, nowadays it will like you go into that sanctum sanctorum and then you are out. That's all, right? Previously and all they used to allow inside. Now they don't allow inside. Then they say Padandi Jargandi, meaning you don't belong here, go. You take darshan and go. That's all. So in Vaikuntha, what happens in Vaikuntha is the worship of Lakshmi and Narayana is done by some very dear associates of the Lord. Not everybody is allowed to get near. It's actually said there is one grantha called Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It said that this boy called Gopakumara, he goes to Vaikuntha and then he sees that Lakshmi and Narayana are sitting on a huge throne. And below, some 10 steps below, somebody is standing and they're doing arti. Like we stand outside here and do arti, right? Like that somebody is doing arti and then all these things are going on. And poor Gopakumara, he wanted to go to meet Vishnu. So he was running. Then they had put on barricade like this. Somebody was standing there, said, "Hey, stop. Where are you going?" He said, "No, I want to go to Narayana. He is my Ishtadeva." He said, "No. Vaikuntha, you can't go near. You have to stand here only and worship." So here in Vaikuntha, this one is okay. Vishnu is great. Vishnu is all powerful. He is Sarva Vyapi. This is called Aishwarya of Krishna. Aishwarya means opulence of Krishna. So in Vaikuntha, Krishna in the form of Vishnu is worshipped for his supreme position as maintainer, creator, big, powerful person. And he is respected. He is very, very respected. So we have to worship him with awe and reverence. Awe and reverence means we have a lot of respect in the heart, and we are also very, we feel wonderful about his potencies, his power and all that, right? Like so much of respect is coming because of his position. This is called Aishwarya Gnana. Or this is Bhakti which is done in the mode of Aishwarya Gnana. Which means in the back of our mind, we are thinking that, okay, Vishnu or Narayana is so great. So hence I am worshipping him like this. And some people think, okay, see, he is so great, he is the master, I am the servant. And in the Dasya Bhav, it's a Dasya Bhav, like servant mood, we will serve the Lord in Vaikuntha. So now how to go to Vaikuntha? In Kali Yuga, like I said, whether you want to go to Vaikuntha, whether you want to go to Ayodhya, whether you want to go to Krishna Loka, process is the same. You have to chant Hare Krishna. And you chant Hare Krishna thinking of going to Vaikuntha, you will go to Vaikuntha. Okay? Now, then next one is, somebody wants to go to Ayodhya, again, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Somebody wants to go to Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan, for that also they have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The only difference between going to Vaikuntha and going to Krishna Loka um, it's much easier to go to Vaikuntha. If you want to go to Vaikuntha, simply follow this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, properly follow the process, whatever our acharyas are saying, and then you will go. This process is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi means Vidhi. Rules and regulations are there. You have to follow rules and regulations. If you simply follow rules and regulations, you will go to Vishnu. Okay? It's not very difficult. It's not very difficult. But it's very, very difficult to go to Krishna. Why is it difficult to go to Krishna? Huh? No, this Vaidhi Bhakti is also, see, anything in connection with Vishnu or Narayana or Krishna or Ayodhya, everything is Vaishnava Bhakti only. Without Vaishnava Bhakti, we can't go anywhere else. See, there's actually, technically, there is nothing like any other Bhakti. Bhakti means Bhakti to Vishnu or Krishna only. But then we say, okay, demigod worship, we say. We don't say demigod Bhakti. There is worship of other gods, there is Bhakti to Vishnu or Krishna. So if you want to go to anywhere, whether you want to go to Vaikuntha or Ayodhya or Krishna Loka, you have to have Bhakti. There is no other option. So it is Vaishnava Bhakti only. But this is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti means they are following rules and regulations, and the mood is, he is the Swami, I am the Dasa. Okay. Now, when you want to go to Krishna Loka, there is one big challenge. What is the challenge? The challenge is that we actually have to forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. If you want to go to Krishna Loka. Because just imagine, you go to Krishna Loka and then Yashoda is binding up Krishna. Yashoda tied up Krishna, no? In Damodar Leela. And then you're standing there and saying, Yashoda, you know what you're doing? You're binding the Supreme Lord of the whole universe, you're binding him. Yashoda will say, hey, go do your work. Then you'll think, Hare, where have I come? So if we want to go to Goloka, we have to, in some sense, forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. This love is considered by Krishna as more superior to the worship in Vaikuntha. Okay, why? Because devotees love Krishna. They love Krishna. And in that love, they don't think about, oh, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. They just think that I love Krishna, that's all. Now, how can we understand this? Suppose, say you are some relative of Narendra Modi, just for this discussion. You are some relative of Narendra Modi. Okay? And you go to meet Narendra Modi. Now, where do you go? First, you go to his office. You are meeting him after many, many years. So, you go to his office. Narendra Modi is sitting, is signing something, discussing something. And then you somehow, you tell him that, their relative, etc. And then somebody allows. Then you go inside his office. And then he's sitting and he's signing, discussing, etc. And he sees you. He just smiles. And then he's like, he's busy doing stuff. And you're just sitting there on some sofa somewhere. And you're feeling like, oh, see, I came after so many years to meet Narendra Modi. He's not even smiling. Then Narendra Modi realizes, he says, no, aap thoda ghar jaiye. You go home, take rest for some time. And then we will meet later, like that. So then we are taken to his house. Right, and then we are we took rest, etc. By then evening, Modi ji came home. He came home. He came to his own home, and we were all there already. We were given hospitality and all that. Then as soon as he comes, what does he do? He comes and hugs us, saying that, Hare, itne saalon ke baad mil rahe. We are meeting after so many years. Sorry, I was very busy there. Office, so much work, I couldn't talk to you nicely. So much that little bhakti, you can go to Swarga. Right? Now, when you're talking all these stories, do you remember that Narendra Modi is Prime Minister, that you're talking to Prime Minister of the country? You just say, see, he's my relative, he was in the same village. We knew each other so well. So, it's like this, when you go to Vaikuntha, there is official, formal relationship between Krishna and between Vishnu and the devotees. Right? But when you go to Goloka, it's like this natural, Krishna comes and hugs you. Right? And you say, oh, no, Krishna, you are Supreme Lord, don't hug me. Like, right? Go to Vaikuntha. Because you can't do that. In Goloka, in Krishna Loka, more than that Aishwarya about Krishna, about his supreme power position, it's the love for Krishna. It's the sweetness. This is called Madhurya. It's called sweetness. There is sweetness in this relationship, in this love for Krishna. So only those who can develop this sweetness with Krishna, only they can go to Goloka. So it's not easy, it's not that easy compared to Vishnu Loka. And in that sweetness, we somewhat forget that we forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, book distribution. We forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. But in our current situation, we are not ready to forget, right? If we forget, then whom are we going to ask? We have a long list of things to ask. Whom will we go and ask? Isn't it? We go to Tirupati and then we make long list, put it in hundi. We put money and say, Krishna, I have all these things, please fulfill. So we are not ready to forget Krishna's supreme position yet. Okay? But actually, see, we have to understand this path of bhakti to Krishna is so amazing that actually Krishna takes care of our material life also without us asking. We don't even have to ask him. Actually, we don't have to ask him. He knows everything. We don't have to tell him. He's not like us. He's the Supreme Lord. He's there in our hearts. He's there in everybody's hearts. He knows exactly what we want, exactly what we need, what is going to be good for us, what is not going to be good for us. Everything he knows. So we don't have to tell him anything. And moreover, Krishna is promised in Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. Then he says, Bhogeshwari Bhoktaram Sarvaloka Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. He says, Suhridam, I am your friend, I am your well-wisher, I take care of your needs, I give you what you don't have. Everything Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Even after all that, why would we want to go and stand in front of Krishna and say, give me this, give me that, give me that? We will do that only if we don't have faith in Krishna's ability. Isn't it? If you have faith in Krishna's position, Krishna's ability, why should we go and ask? He's telling, I will give you. You don't have to ask me. So, one who comes to want to, serve Krishna, he does simply for Krishna's pleasure. Simply for Krishna's pleasure, not for our something that we want. So if I ask you a question, why should we do bhakti? Why should we do bhakti? Simply to please Krishna. What happens if we please Krishna? You might ask, Prabhu, see, but we also want happiness. Yeah, of course we want happiness. What happens when Krishna is happy? We become automatically happy. Automatic. Automatic means we don't have to try also. We will simply be happy. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. But we have to serve in such a way that Krishna becomes happy. Okay? So, we can go to Vaikuntha, we can go to Ayodhya, we can also go to Krishna Loka. With the same mantra, the process is the same. The process can take you to the topmost platform, or you can go to Vaikuntha, or now Krishna in these verses is telling other options. What else can happen to us when we practice bhakti? Okay, this is a very nice verse. Hey, can you enlarge it, Prabhu? Yeah. So I'll chant this verse, you can repeat. Prapya punya kritam lokan ushitva shashwati samaha shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga prashto vijayate. So here Krishna is saying yoga brashta. Yoga brashta means he couldn't complete his yoga. Yoga brashta means incomplete yogi. He didn't achieve perfection. Perfection is what? Like I said, we either go to Vaikuntha or Ayodhya or Goloka, that is perfection. Somebody started practicing bhakti, but he stopped in the middle. Okay, you can go down. So, unsuccessful yogi. Prabhupada is translating it as unsuccessful yogi. Now, but this unsuccessful yogi, there's description in the purport. Prabhupada explains that who is this unsuccessful yogi? Many times we invite so many people to come and attend classes and come and be part of. Don't read that, I'll explain. And be part of come here and do bhakti and all that. Sometimes what happens, devotees come 1-2 classes and then go. Why they go? Why they go away? Why they don't want to come? Yeah, they feel something else is important, or something, their mind is saying, no, I don't want this, for some reason. So for some reason they'll think, no, this is not, maybe this is not good for me. But they have not understood anything completely, right? You don't go to school and then first 2 days of class and then you say, no, I don't like this school, right? You go to school because first you know that, okay, I have to first study, go first standard, second standard. You have some faith saying that if I study here, I will get 10 certificate, I will go whatever I can study for the rest. So you have some faith. So those who come to ISKCON here, but they don't have faith, they don't have complete understanding of ISKCON. They will come 1 or 2 days, then they go. Maybe they also did some chanting, maybe they did some chanting for 3 months, 6 months, and then they stopped. We see so many devotees who do this. Even for such devotees, Krishna will give something which others cannot achieve. Even for such people who are unsuccessful, very short time they practice bhakti and left it. You might be wondering, how can people just stop practicing bhakti like that? It's possible. In this Kali Yuga, everything is possible. There's one very, somebody whom I know. So he started his bhakti, and then a couple of years after, he had a lot of problems in his life. Then he just, he was very upset. What he was upset about? He was upset. He thought that how, if Krishna is there, how can he allow me to go through all these difficulties? So I don't believe that Krishna is there. He lost faith in Krishna completely. And then he stopped chanting everything. So why does this happen? If we don't have clear understanding about the philosophy, then this can happen. That we lose faith in the Supreme Lord Himself. Now just imagine, you lost faith in Krishna, where will you go? You have nowhere to go. Wherever you go, they will also, yes, he is the boss. But he lost faith. And then I was just trying to explain to him, saying that, Prabhu, see, Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, na datte kasyajit papam na chaiva supratam vibhu. Krishna has already told, I am not responsible for your actions. You are only responsible. You did something bad, so you are suffering. So what should you do? Come to me, I will take care. But you are the one who is responsible for it. Don't blame me for this. I am not responsible for your action. You decided to do something. I said don't do. You still said no, I am going to do. Okay, fine. So for which you have to suffer the reaction. If you are not able to tolerate that, it's fine, no problem. I am your father. You come to me and tell me, saying that Krishna, I am not able to deal with this. Please help me. Please rescue me. Krishna says, okay, I will do it. That Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vrajam tvam sarva papebhyo moksheshyami. So Krishna is saying, you have a lot of problems. No problem. Come to me. I will take away all your problems. Today somebody was asking, saying that, Prabhu, can we change karma? I said, yeah, of course. That's the reason we are here. We are here to change our karma. We are here to change our destiny. We can change everything and we can go to Krishna. So Krishna is giving that assurance. But if suppose say we don't, that is the reason we are not like any other temple, right? You go to any other temple, what will you do? You will take darshan, you will take tirtha, prasada, and you will also sit for some few seconds. In the next verse, Krishna is saying, what about somebody if he has done bhakti for a long time? Why? 42. Yeah. So here, come down. Translation. Here Krishna is saying, if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga. So the previous verse was short practice of yoga. Short practice of yoga, you go to Swarga. And then you come down and take birth in a good family. What about this Long practice of yoga. Long practice of yoga means you practice, you couldn't achieve perfection. You didn't give away bhakti, you didn't give up bhakti, you just didn't achieve 100%. Maybe you are 80%, 90%. In ISKCON, we see lot of children, small children. They are so naturally, they are already like, we know that if we look at them, they are devotees. They want to wear tilak, they'll stand in kirtan, if we are doing kirtan, they're also clapping, they'll sing. It almost looks like who taught them? So here Krishna is saying, because after long practice, they will be born in a family of transcendentalists, meaning they will be given birth in the house of devotees. There is this, our Samarth here. And he is, from small age, they have inclination for bhakti. Because they are not devotees in this life. They are all devotees from previous life. They were all come to teach us devotion. So even smaller children, so many. If we look at them only, we actually want this. Some children, there's one child in our Vijayanagar center. She's so much advanced in Krishna consciousness. She's like, 4 years, 5 years, something like that. She will hear classes, my classes. Not for children classes. When I say my classes, like classes for adults. And she will understand everything that is being spoken. And then she will go and tell her parents, see, Prabhu said this in class. Are you doing it? 5 6 year old child. And these parents, her parents keep saying, Prabhu, she is only sitting in our house and making sure that we will progress in devotion. Because they have that, they are continuing their bhakti from previous life. And so they are given an opportunity to be born in the house of Vaishnavas, devotees. And certainly such a birth is rare in this world. Very rare. But see, Krishna doesn't, we might forget Krishna. Krishna never forgets us. See, for somebody who did little bhakti, left, for them also Krishna is giving something. For somebody who has done for a long time, for them also is giving. Somebody who doesn't come to him also, still he is canvassing, saying that come, I will take care of you. All this. In spite of all these, people don't want to come to Krishna. In Kali Yuga, people have some misunderstanding. They think, oh, ISKCON, they are going to brainwash us. What brainwash? Prabhupada said, yes, there is so much of kachada in the brain, it has to be washed. Kachada has to go. Right? When kachada goes, only then like clean things will remain. So they are not doing any brainwashing. I also came into ISKCON 15 years back. I felt so happy that they took away all the nonsense that was there in my head. Prabhupada took away everything. Right? So it's a process which is going to give us happiness. It's a process which gives us peace of mind. It's the best process for us. But still, for some reason, we don't want to accept it. It's just our misfortune. It's just our misfortune. That we have not come to that stage of accepting bhakti, because it is the last stage of our journey in this material world. It's the last stage. It's like how many people will do CA? So many of them will come do big commerce, this, that, but finally CA and then topic in CA. That is like very, very handful, right? And this is like that. And see, the best thing about bhakti is, it is not that we will, from outside, we will look like some great person. No, we look like just like any other people, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes. Maybe some people are so simple, they don't even understand all these things. It doesn't matter. Bhagavatam says, if somebody is chanting beads and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he or she is finished all other processes. They have finished reading Vedas, they have done this, they have done that, they have finished everything. And finally, they have come to the last stage of their life in this material world. That is why it's such a powerful process that even by doing little, you get so much benefit. It's like for little headache, you put a Dolo 650. A little headache. Will the headache not go? Obviously it will go. It's like that. It's such a powerful process that little you do, you will go to Swarga. It's like that. And generally, if you want to go to Swarga, you have to do so much of karma kanda, so much you have to accumulate. Punya, 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 punya. Here, nothing. But we have to decide where you want to go. Right? Whether you want to go to Punya, you want to go to Swarga, and then of course again then come back, then again take birth here, or you want to go to Vaikuntha, or you want to go to Ayodhya, you want to go to Krishna, you have to decide. It's in your hands. But the process can take you anywhere. That is why Krishna's Nama is called Chintamani. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It's Chintamani. Chintamani means it can give us anything. It can give us anything we want. But intelligent people don't ask for anything else. Because we know whatever else we get in this material world, everything is going to be temporary. Is there anybody here who can take your bank balance to your next life? Nobody can. Can you take your house to your next life? No, you can't. Can you take your family to your next life? No, you can't. You can't do any of this. Only thing you can take to your next life is bhakti. That is the only account which is permanent account, permanent account number, and not so. We have PAN, which is not actually so permanent. Temporarily permanent, and this is permanent. Okay, so devotion is so amazing, and Krishna in this chapter finally ends saying that, yeah, I told you Arjuna about dhyana, but actually the topmost process is bhakti. So with that, this 6th chapter actually ends, and then Krishna in the 7th chapter now we are coming to the cream of Bhagavad Gita. So 7th to 12th chapters of Bhagavad Gita is called the section on bhakti and bhakti yoga. So amazing, so beautiful, so much of nice knowledge is there, and we can all become very enthusiastic in practicing bhakti. Tomorrow is Gita Jayanti. What is Gita Jayanti? It's the day when Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. So such an important day. So devotees will all be busy going out distributing books tomorrow. So many people don't have Bhagavad Gita, don't know about this knowledge, so devotees will go out and distribute. So we are still thinking, we don't know if at all we might gather in the evening to chant Bhagavad Gita verses. We might do. It might take about roughly an hour to chant all the verses, Sanskrit verses, one after the other. And we will put in the group if in case that is happening, because everybody is busy with book distributions and still not decided whether we're going to do it. But if you don't do it here, you can do it at home. If you have Bhagavad Gita, you can please read all the verses. If you can't, you think, it's Sanskrit, I can't read all these verses, read the 12th chapter verses and translation. If you have Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, then it will help you understand also. The 12th chapter is the culmination of bhakti. So Krishna very nicely says what kind of qualities makes a person becomes very dear to Krishna. Very beautiful set of verses. So you can read that auspicious day, distribute Bhagavad Gita, give Bhagavad Gita to somebody as a gift. Let somebody get the benefit of getting Bhagavad Gita in their hands. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita for all of us. Otherwise, he didn't speak for Arjuna. Arjuna already knew all this. Through Arjuna, he spoke for all of us. So every human being, I'm not saying Hindu, I'm saying every human being has to read Bhagavad Gita. Because it is not a Hindu book. It's a book for all kinds of human beings, all walks of life. Which is why Prabhupada went to other countries, and now there are devotees all over the world. Are they Hindus? No, they are not Hindus. Because this bhakti is not for Hindus. Krishna doesn't say only Hindus can become my devotee. No, everybody, Krishna is saying Aham Bija Pradapita. Every jiva is my child. So every child can become my devotee. So anybody can become Krishna's devotee. And there's no restriction on language, financial position, social position, language, whatever, religion, blah, blah, blah. It's for everybody. So you will do good by gifting it to somebody, your dear relatives, siblings, cousins, etc., etc. So with that we'll end here. If there are any questions, on what we discussed? Okay, so we'll close. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samvayata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.